Hey, what's going on guys? How all you are doing? Welcome to the 8th tutorial on the series of making a control management system in Laravel. We are in the 8th episode. Go ahead and watch the last ones if you haven't already. So in today's one, we're gonna talk about how to do this cool block. I have already gone and designed this for you. So I've added the navbar, I've added the cards in here as you can see. So we can add just the logic and show our post that has been saved in the database. Right out of the box, we have created loads of stuff. So let me just go back into the laravel.cms.dev, and we have in the last tutorial we have added the post add-in as well as the categories and all the Ajax and the pop-ups. So we have covered them in the last few tutorials on the series, so please make sure to watch them before watching the 8th one. So the last one we've covered the added new post with the title, with the category fetching from there, and also the post content. All of that's in one place. So now when we add the post, we won't be able to know about them unless we have a blog or something to show the post for us. Therefore, we're going to create that blog. I've already gone and set up this couple of files, actually, the models and stuff. So firstly, what I've gone and do is created a folder under the views and added index.blade.php, and I named the folder or the filter a blog. So it's gonna represent our blog files, and the index page is in here. So under the index, I've gone and just extend from the app layout. So make sure to add your own thing if you really want to do like a big blog. By the way, if you are intending to make a business blog in here, so make sure to create a different or separate application than your Laravel CMS application. Create a new Laravel application and use that for a blog. Then you can fetch the data from the database, the data that has been inserted from your by your CMS. So you can integrate that or fully integrate that with the CMS, which makes it a really nice one. Make sure to not use it like this way, because in this particular one we are using it like in very simple. Just make sure to use it in another different way to differentiate from your CMS application. Anyway, so I've gone out and the include, so I've made a separate file for the navbar. So if we go up in here under the include, I've added the navbar.blade.php, and I've grabbed this code from the snippets available in Bootstrap documentation. So if we go back and bootstrap.com, under the documentation, you're gonna find the navbar. Make sure to check this out. And all the navbar in here with the search bar, with a loads of stuff, with like a bootstrap or a responsive navbar for your mobile devices, a screen responsive, all of this kind of stuff with a different color. So if I've just gone and copied the code and paste in here, I'm gonna also find the code in the GitHub. Please make sure if you really want to check this code, go into the GitHub, you're gonna find the source code in there. So I've gone and put the code in here, and then included the navbar under our main -row section. So and created a div with a middle 8, a column middle 8 of Bootstrap, and an offset of 2, and created just a blog title in here, and I have the 2 cards, and I've grabbed the card also from the Bootstrap documentation. So if you go to the cards, you're gonna find all the available cards in here with different dimensions and image dimensions in here. So please make sure to grab whatever code you really need in here. So whatever switch you need, you're gonna grab it and put it in here. I've just grabbed 2 of them in here to demonstrate how this is gonna look like. And also I've gone into the routes, like if you go to the web.php, and you're gonna find just a hard-coded function in here, a hard-coded callback function. So it's gonna return a view to the blog.index. As simple as that. If we go in here, go /blog, we're gonna find our index blog page. This all we have done to make that happen, to show the navbar and the 2 cards in here. Now what we are going to do actually is show the post data that has been saved on the database. So now if we go to the localhost phpMyAdmin to check out our database and to see actually the post that has been saved from our CMS in here, you're gonna see all the posts. So I want to fetch the posts from the database, then render them out on the blog in here in a nice way. What you can do later on is implement the authentication system for the login and the sign up, and also the pages in here if you wanna add loads of pages for your blog, like say categories, and into the categories you're gonna have like, I don't know, web development, programming, game development, loads of other things. So you can add them up in here in the navbar. But for the professional users, you can create your own or style your own navbar in here for make it looks a bit better than this, because this is like default thing from the Bootstrap. I don't really like it, but just for the basic stuff in here. Now, as I've said, if we go to the admin panel and we're gonna find our post, we have already one post in here for on the database for the time being, but we're gonna add a load of other things, a lot of other posts in the next feature. You can do that from the CMS. So let me just open up the CMS in a new page. So Laravel just cms.dev, take over this, and I'm gonna open add a new post, and we can add a new post. So what you can do here for the post content is use a custom posts or contents manager. So you can find this by googling, and I have a really nice one is a CK editor. So if you go to the CK editor, you can find this. Also, there's a Forola editor out there. Just Google this out and you're gonna find this. Make sure to use this onto your integrate. It's very easy to integrate it just using JavaScript, and gonna make your life easier when writing posts, especially very long posts for your blog. Anyway, now for fetching from the database, we're gonna go back in here and create a controller first. So now use PHP artisan make controller. And we're gonna name the controller is blog controller, simple as that. And I'm gonna dash resource. So that gonna create a controller for us. Then we're gonna fetch the data. Make something's going on in here. Make controller, I believe is not a couple case. PHP artisan. Okay, where's the problem here? Let me just. Did you mean one of these? Okay, I meant one of these, yeah. But controller, what's going on with the controller? Okay, let's see. Okay, something is messed up in here. Let's try again. PHP artisan make controller blog controller dash resource. Yeah, controller has been created successfully. There were something wrong in here, just a mistyping thing. Now the controller has been successfully added under up HTTP, and over here gonna find block control. Here it is. So let me just minimize this for a second. And under the index page, we wanna just return a view. So view, and it's gonna be like under our blog file or folder and index. So we're just gonna return this, and under web.php, rather than just hard code a function, we're gonna call our controller in here. So blog controller at index. I'm gonna name this name. Make sure to name your route, because you're gonna make your life easier when you're trying to reference a specific route on your application. So make sure to do that. Gonna make your life way much more easier. Now it's gonna enter blog controller, and yeah, this is index. Okay, everything looks fine in here. If we go refresh, we should see no effects in here, no changes at all. So refreshing the Laravel.cms, okay, everything is working. Now try to add the logic. So for the index page, we want to pass in the available posts alongside this view to allow me a render out from the index page. So to show the data, or to render out the post data in here under our cart containers. So to do that, we're gonna fetch from the database. So under our blog, we're gonna need to include or use app post model. Post, okay. So to grab the data from the database, now we should create a post and call it post and order by. Make sure to order your posts by whatever factor, but I'm gonna use the created at timestamps and a descending, and we're gonna get it, all of it, without filtering. So here we are just gonna pass it through with the with method to the view. So with, and we're gonna call this, wait a second, we are going to call this posts, and yeah, I'm gonna put the post variable up here, with method is working, post is being done in here. Now under our index.blade.php we should put the data in here. So as you can see, I have two of these. Let me just comment one, or let's just get rid of all of this because we have already a saved version of this. Now we need to create a for loop, loops through each of the posts in here, and we create an if statement first to check if like there's at least one post in order to render this. If not, like no post is available, there's a 0 post in our database, we need to like show a message, no post available for the moment, or the blog has no post for the moment, please try again, or return another time, or something like this. So let me just end the if over here, or down here, and if, and go all the back, use the count method, and posts greater than 0, then you can render out. And we're gonna use an else in here, so else, and here you can just put a dev and a class of alert danger, and no posts available. Okay, simple as that. So here we're gonna render out or use our for loop. So as we have done the last one, a for loop is a for each. You can use a for each or a normal for with an I plus and stuff. So I'm gonna use for each for simplicity in here. So for each, I'm gonna loop over posts as post, and we are going to close the for each in here. So and for each. Here we're gonna use the post method or the post class in here. So to fetch the data, it's like an instance of from our database table, the post or the admin panel. So we're gonna able to put the title in here. So post title. Make sure to name yours in here, your variable, the same as the field name on your database. As you can see, you have the name of the title, so I'm gonna grab this one. Make sure to, if you haven't been following the tutorials series from the beginning, like you have created your own variable names and stuff, make sure to put them in here in order to make things work for you. And I forgot about the curly braces surrounding the title in here, so let me just do that very quickly. And also the card text, just a short text, we are going to render about, we're not, so here you can do a function that reduces the post content. So let's say you have a post content of, I don't know, 300 characters or 400 characters. You don't want to like display all the 300 characters in here. You're just gonna type or display or show an overview of your post. So to do that, you need just a kind of a function to reduces the text into, like, I don't know, a quarter or 1/4 of its full length or something. Like you can do that very easily using PHP. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna put post content. Okay, and here you can, this button gonna allow you to navigate into the actual post page. So let's see here, you're gonna see the overview of the post, and we could go somewhere, or we can change this like to show post. Okay, read post, for example. So read post, we're gonna like use this read post. We're gonna read the whole post content and with an image with thumbnail, because we're not supporting a thumbnail right now. You can put the thumbnail up here for more like making your blog looks a bit better than this, but this is very basic. I'm just gonna show these structures and how to get and use or get stuff from the database. Now that should do the job perfectly. Let's try to look or refresh our page actually, and we should see something like the posts, and one only post, a post title, as we have called this a post title, and nothing more, like a post content. And what we can do is add another P in here, and I don't know, class equals card dash text, I don't know, try to add like author and get post author. As simple as that. Trying to refresh now, everything should look fine, and we should see the post author. So that is using, as you can see, author is stamping US, but yeah, ridiculous using the author or prepending the author in here. Just gonna use the author, original author name. And you can add another post in here. I don't know, let's say new post, whatever, and this category like new cats, and this is another test post. Okay, now other new post, you should see a success message over here telling us like the post has been successfully added, post added successfully, and refresh the CMS. We should see a new post list in here. Gonna list in here, so yep, new post in here, post content, and that's how it's gonna be done. Looping each one and just rendering them, then you can style your own posts like this. It's very simple using Laravel. It's way much more simple than using like a normal PHP or whatever other framework. Laravel, very simple, very convenient for everybody wanna do something very simple or something very powerful, by the way, at the same time. Now what we wanna cover is showing the actual post content. So when we click on this read post, it's gonna redirect us or take us to another page where we're gonna see the full post contents and with the author and stuff. You can style this, but I'm gonna just put this arbitrary. So I'm gonna go into the blog. I haven't done this, like haven't added this for you before recording the video, so yeah, let's do that very fast and make it very basic. So we're creating a new file. I'm gonna call it show.blade.php, which is gonna show us a single post. And for that, we're also gonna extend from the layout, okay, the up, and we're gonna put section. Let me remember about the section. I always forgot about the section. It's main dash row, okay, and section. And here we can, or we need to include the navbar. So we copy paste this. And over here we need to put this one as well. So let me copy this and let me just make this, the offsets a bit like 4 or 2 doing the job perfectly, so no problem in here. Okay, and here we should put our posts. So the post content I'm gonna hold first to the, for the H3 is the post title. I'm gonna put a class, a bootstrap class, text center, which is gonna align the text into the center. And I'm gonna here put the post. I'm just gonna put this empty. I'm gonna comes back into here for a second. And the other one we're gonna put is a P. Here the post content gonna goes, all the post contents, and what actually gonna use is class is card text for making this looks a bit nicer. And or before that we can add like, I don't know, some small with class of a bootstrap text muted, which makes the text a bit muted, and change the color into gray, very dark gray actually. And here we're gonna put the author. So now let's go ahead and route it into this post. So how to route this actually is by passing an argument in here. So let's say when we click on this read post, it's gonna redirect us laravel-cms.dev/blog, then / the ID of this post, where it's gonna show us the actual post then. So to do that, it's very simple using Laravel. So you're gonna go into web.php. So we're using another route and a get method. We're gonna call it blog, then / then to reference or to tell it that we're gonna pass in a variable in here. You use 2 curly braces, then between them put your variable name in here, or your variable name. Sorry about this, I can't spell a variable. Okay, a blog / a curly brace, then an ID, then another closing curly brace. Then put the controller method gonna handle this. So blog controller at show. So there's a specific show method on our controller which takes an argument of an ID and that can do the job for us. So if we haven't, like when we create the category, if we haven't specified -- resource option, we won't get all of this like show method and the index method and store method all ready for us. So you can create them by yourself, but using -- resource option gonna allow you to, I don't know, win a bit of time, maybe, yeah. So using the category, a semicolon up here, category not index, show. I'm gonna call this in a second, and show method block controller again, and referencing an ID. Now for telling it, like when we click on this button to route us or to redirect us into the actual show page, so what we actually going to do is to go ahead and give me a second, go into the block controller and our show method gonna render out. As you can see, the show method takes an ID, so we're gonna pass in the ID or the post ID. And for routing, we need to go to the index.blade.php and under the primary button here under the href, we're gonna put the function of route function, which gonna route us, and we put the name of the route, so we name it category.index. And here we specify which ID, so we pass in the second argument is the ID. So here we're gonna put the ID, which is going to be about the post, or you can pass in an array if you have a multiple IDs. I like using that. You put the variable name, the get variable name that we have just put it in here. So let me go to the web.php. This one, it should be this one, so the ID, then you put the value in here like the actual ID, and I'm gonna put post ID, the actual post ID in here because we have in the post one. As simple as that, it's gonna route us into the new page, but we can't because we're not handling this yet. Let me go to the block controller and show this show, or like fill out the show method and show single post in here. So in here we're gonna fetch the actual post from the database. So post, we're gonna use post and find or fail. So we're gonna find it, otherwise gonna fail or return exception. And we're gonna put our ID in here. Then under our post, we're just gonna call a view, return a view, and a view of blog.show with, so I'm gonna pass the post. Okay, here we pass the actual post into our view to render out the data. As simple as that. This is how it's being done behind the scenes. So now it's gonna route us into blog.show and pass in the post attribute. Now variable. Now going to the blade.show and put in the post in here. So post, and we put here title. Okay, and we put in here post author, and here the post the post contents variable, we name it post. As simple as that. That should do the job perfectly for us. Now refresh, and now we will be able to go ahead to the post and see the actual post content. Now for the new post, if we click read post, it takes blog ID and it's gonna just redirect us back into here. Okay, why this is happening? We're not going into there or something, like something's going on. There should be something wrong. There has to be something wrong in here. So not the index, I'm calling it the index, by the way. I'm literally sorry about this, guys. If we go to the index.page, I'm calling category index. Where should I call the show route name? Okay, now should go back just to only the blog and try this again, and that should work for us. Okay, post, as you could see, /1 or the ID of the actual post, and it's gonna take us into another play with this is the author and this is the post title. and this is the content. So the content, you only have the content, as you can see here, only content. Into the post content you can add however you want, and you can style this page which gonna suit your need or whatever you do. So I guess this is what we have covered for today. You can also add this one, add the functionality for this. If you go to the home one, you can use the route method as we have done in here. It's gonna be very simple, just calling the route one with the route name, and it's gonna redirect you into the actual page you wanna see. So I guess this is pretty much it, guys, for today's. We've implemented that. It's gonna be very simple, as you have seen here. For rendering a single post, we're showing the single post. Also, we're showing all the available posts on the blog. So this was a very simple blog. Now, for covering the sign up and the login or the authentication system, maybe I'm gonna put in the next video tutorial some authentication system in here, like how to log in and register people. So I guess this is pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you really enjoyed this. If you have any problems, issues, please make sure to comment them below. I will be very happy to respond and give you the best I have out there. So in the next video tutorial, till then, see you the next time.